the season now, and they've lost 15 as we take a look at Herschel Walker. With a gain of about 5, it looks like, by Herschel Walker. Well, Herschel now has gotten off to a bit of a decent start now, not having been hit hard. And again, we were talking about Chuck Cecil saying he played against Herschel when he was with Minnesota, and they smashed him that first game, that first play, the first time they played against him, and he was no good the rest of the game.
That's what he said, but I think it's too late for that now. Herschel has got some runs under his belt, and as the game goes forward now, the longer he runs, the better he'll probably get.
On 2nd and 5, Cunningham running and throwing too hard, incomplete. Intended receiver was Byers. Bounced off of him. It was a drilled pass, and the pressure that time applied by Matt Brock. And right now, let's swing you back to New York for an update with Greg Gumbel.
All right, JB, at Kansas City, Christian Okoye gets the Chiefs on the board first from 2 yards out. And with the extra point, Kansas City leading Washington 7-0 in the first, James.
All right, Greg, and talking about big running backs, I mean, Christian Okoye, virtually impossible to stop a guy about 260, 265, that close to the goal line.
You need at least 3 or 4 guys hanging on and hope he just gets tired of carrying you downfield.
3rd and 5. Cunningham out of the shotgun. Cunningham only 1 of 7 thus far. So make it 1 of 6 thus far as Cunningham throws to the intended receiver by Sikahema.
Notice Cunningham was rolling to the right on that play. As we spoke earlier, we talked to Cunningham, and he said he hoped that Richie Kotite would put some plays in to take advantage of his natural rolling and running ability. That was a roll to the right. Nobody's out there. Nice delivery of the football, but it relaxes him to be on the move when he's passing the ball.
That completion to Sikahema makes it 1st and 10 from the 41 of the Packers for the Eagles. And number 41, Byers, carrying the ball. Good 2nd and 3rd effort by Keith Byers. A hard-fought 3 yards and a little discussion down on the field, if you will. Tell you, hats off to Keith Byers just to be playing in the game. You mentioned before he's playing with that broken pinky on his right hand, and he's wearing that glove and protective padding on the inside.
That's a soft cast, and he's a tough football player anyway. So the difficulty of playing with the soft cast is one thing, but also you have to hold on to the football. He's a running back, so he's got to be extra conscious of not fumbling that ball when he's carrying it with that soft cast on the football.
2nd and 6. Byers at the H-back spot. 5:45. And I think the play clock expired before the play.
Before the snap, the 25-second clock ran out. Delay of game, 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
Let's take a look at Kotite again. He is so hopeful of success for Randall in this game. And Randall, as I correct myself on the stats, he is 2 of 6. So not a great start by Randall Cunningham.
Well, he doesn't look exactly comfortable to me yet. The Eagles want to get some points on the board, keep the ball, and at the same time have Randall relax.
On 2nd and 11, intended receiver was Keith Byers, and George Kuntz that time with good coverage, showing some of the speed and hustle that Mike Holmgren was talking about as far as Kuntz.
Well, the Eagles are lucky that this is not 7 going against them. Byers was in a little swing pass. George Kuntz is covering him man to man. Kuntz is out there early. That's Kuntz right in the middle of your screen, coming up underneath. Had that ball been delivered where it should have been, a little bit lower, Kuntz might have had that interception, and it would have been 7 going the other way.
So the Eagles faced with a 3rd and 11. Ball at the 42. 4 wide receivers in. Trips right formation. This is Roy Green in motion. Cunningham takes off. And that's the old Randall Cunningham running for the 1st down. That's what he said at the top of the show, that he wanted to do more, felt more comfortable doing that. He displayed it that time. Vinny Clark finally with the tackle.
But when Cunningham dropped back that time, JB, he didn't even look downfield to deliver the ball. I don't think he's comfortable passing right now. He dropped back, pulled that down. He knew he was going to run that all the way, even though it was a called pass and not a called quarterback draw. I believe he's just not comfortable throwing the ball right now, much more comfortable running the ball.
18-yard gain down to the 23, first and 10. 4:35 and counting left in the first quarter. No score. Walker looking for a hole. None to be found. No gain on the play. Brian Noble along with Holland on the tackle.
Herschel kind of turned that corner, looked upfield, said, no, I don't think so. Tried to go back inside. Tough for a big fella, Herschel's side. You know, he runs with those short little steps anyway. And when he's not going to turn that corner, he's not really good at totally reversing field like that. Nowhere to go on that play.
2nd and 11 on Packer 24.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the 24. Walker the lone back. Cunningham throws it complete to Beach. And that is the first catch for Pat Beach since October the 18th. That was his last catch. And again, there's been an awful lot of talk in Philadelphia about non-utilization of the tight ends. And Richie Kotite says, hey, those plays are there.
Well, of course, ever since the loss of Keith Jackson, Randall really hasn't been comfortable with the tight end position, and they need tight ends to catch the ball in this offense. Keith Jackson was a full 50% of their receptions. So they've got to work Pat Beach and Maurice Johnson in. Glad to see Randall going to him.
3rd and 3. The Eagles need to get to the 9. Make that the 14 for a first down. And no gain on the play that time. Tony Bennett leading the charge.
Tell us Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett is called the elephant in their defensive terminology, which I think is kind of interesting. Most other defense will call him the stub linebacker, which is, say, strong side. That's not Tony Bennett we're looking at. Tony Bennett is number 90, but anyway, he's the elephant, which is to say the strong side linebacker in that defensive scheme.
This is a 34-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So Roger Ruzek drilling it through. He's 4 of 5 from that range, and the Eagles on the scoreboard first. The Packers home away from home, Milwaukee County Stadium. Eagles on top 3-0 as we take a look at Jackie Harris, who I guess you could say had his first fumble of the year.
He did have
make up for it.
He had his first fumble of the year. He made a big play. Then he jumped off sides. Then he had a fumble. He could be, I believe, it's going to be one of the major keys for Green Bay today if they expect to win. Jackie Harris has got to stay in this game.
And that was a short kick, and Corey Harris is going to give the Packers excellent field position as he runs out of bounds at about the 32. Roger Ruzek forcing him out as we take a look at Kansas City leading Washington 7-0 in the contest. We heard Greg Gumbel with the update. So the Packers will start with excellent field position. Ball is marked at the 32. 2:10 left in the first quarter. Eagles on top by a field goal.
Going back to Jackie Harris, JB, Sterling Sharp is going to get his catches. Workman is a good back. He'll get a lot of catches. Jackie Harris is a downfield tight end, which is needed to stretch that defensive envelope to open up the crossing patterns underneath for Sterling Sharp and Sanjay Beach.
1st and 10 from the eye. And Brett Favre with the play action. Throws it complete to Harry Sidney, and Harry Sidney takes it across the 40. And looks to be more than enough for the first down as Harry Sidney bringing some veteran experience to the Packers. And it looks like Favre is holding that left shoulder of his. And that tends to happen whenever you play the mean defense of Philadelphia.
Well, he got crunched that time. The Eagles are going to try to put a lot of hits on him. That's the Minister of Defense, of course, Reggie White coming in on top. That's 305 pounds landing on top of you. What they want to do with a young quarterback is shake him up early, take him out of his game, like they did to Marinovich last week with the Raiders.
And he is playing hurt. You can see he's still favoring that left shoulder. 1st and 10. On the ground. And Workman with a nice front. First down and a lot more. 1